Hi, my name is Wudan and I'm a journalist based in Seattle. I recently investigated issues pertaining to sustainability in the palm oil industry in Southeast Asia. Palm oil is a commodity found in anything ranging from candy bars to soaps, shampoos, and as folks are becoming increasingly interested in renewable energy sources, also biodiesel.
But growing palm oil is not without huge environmental consequences. It's linked to massive deforestation in Malaysia and Indonesia, who, together, produce approximately 90% of the palm oil that's used worldwide. And burning down forests to develop these plantations generate massive amounts of greenhouse gases and destroy the habitats of many animals who rely on those ecosystems. But the world needs more palm oil in the years to come. Compared to demand at the turn of the millennia, the world's thirst for palm oil is expected to double by 2030 and triple by 2050. So a huge question becomes, how can the industry meet this demand without cutting down more forests?
I got interested in palm oil when I lived in Bangkok in fall of 2015. I was trained as a biochemist, which is when I saw a research paper come out around the same time that described an abnormality in the palm oil fruits in very biochemical terms. I quickly learned that there was a multinational team of scientists who have been using genetics and technology to improve the yield of palm oil. In theory, if you grow a hectare of palm oil, that is around the size of a football field, you should be able to get 18 tons of oil per year. But right now, the industry average is only less than a quarter of that. So using the technology that scientists are developing can not only increase oil yield, but potentially spare thousands of hectares of land from being transformed into plantations. And that's only possible if the appropriate laws are put into place and enforced on the ground.
I went to Asia to understand the barriers to producing palm oil responsibly. In Indonesia, I traveled to Riau, one of the largest palm oil producing regions in the island archipelago. Last year, the forest fires from land clearance to grow palm oil were so bad that the toxic fumes seeped into Malaysia and Singapore, causing more than 100,000 estimated premature deaths. I learned that even though Indonesia's President Joko Widodo had set moratoriums on the development of palm oil, that companies or individuals could still bribe local government officials to burn down land anyway. Beyond deforestation, I investigated labor issues in the palm oil industry. Many workers in Indonesia are what's called casual workers, meaning that they lack job security, adequate health care, and other benefits. Workers on Malaysia's plantations come from surrounding countries in Southeast and South Asia. Many of these foreign workers take out huge sums of money for work visas and flights abroad that they are immediately placed in precarious situations that make them subject to exploitative practices. In Myanmar, a country that some investors believe can serve as the next frontier for palm oil, the labor conditions ultimately make workers very vulnerable to be recruited by agents and traffickers to take jobs abroad in Thailand.
Overall, what I saw on the ground was that to produce palm oil sustainably will require a massive international effort. Scientists can create the tools to increase the oil yield from these crops to satisfy rising global demand, but the despoliation of the land can only be stopped with better laws and better governance of these laws. Consumers, too, have the power to demand palm oil that's produced in an environmentally and socially conscious manner. And hopefully the people who grow and produce our palm oil will have to comply.